Hey guys, Jake from Sharp. Today we're taking a look at the Ittetsu Nashiji Santoku in 165 millimeters. So like I said, 165 millimeter blade length, which is about 6.5 inches, standard for a Santoku bunka or Nikiri, and the overall length is going to be 315 millimeters. It's going to be made out of Agami or blue #2 carbon steel, which is going to be a little bit tougher than its white counterpart, and it's going to be stainless clad. So the only part that you're going to have to worry about rusting or discoloring is going to be that little bit at the edge. Super easy to clean up when you sharpen it though, so not something you really have to worry about. While we're up here actually, it's going to have an integral steel bolster, which means that it's the same piece of steel that they use to clad the blade, and it's going to have a one-piece walnut handle, which is a little bit more similar to a Western handle. And while I am normally a snob for wah handles, I admit I do really like these ones. I find them quite comfortable. So the height from the heel to the spine is going to be 42 millimeters. And we're going to have 3 millimeters width coming out of the spine from the handle, but it's going to taper really nicely down to about 1.5 at the tip there. Balance point is going to be right where the handle meets the blade, which is great. Very comfortable for a pinch grip, and it's going to weigh 150 grams. So for having a big chunky handle like this, it's still certainly on the lighter side. One thing I really like about this knife is that it has a very, very aggressive tip for a Santoku. So one of my personal favorites about that is that you can choke up on it and use it to core tomatoes, things like that. It's also going to be really, really great for detailed work. Show you guys the profile. So not a huge flat spot on this guy, a nice swept blade, which is going to lend itself more to a rocking motion. And even though you have that aggressive tip, it is turned up nicely at the end there, so you can get pretty high with this guy. The Nashiji in the name refers to the finish on the blade, which translates to pear skin. So you can see that it's a little bit rougher on the end there. And I like this especially in a professional kitchen because you're not going to have to worry about every little scratch or ding because you're not really going to notice them. If you've never used a Santoku before, it translates to 3 virtues: slicing, dicing, and chopping, which is usually understood as meat, fish, and vegetables. It's a great do-it-all knife to replace a gyoro if you either don't have enough room in your kitchen and you have a smaller cutting board, or if you don't feel comfortable with a full 8-inch knife. So, one more time guys, this has been the Ittetsu Nashiji Santoku in 165 millimeters.